Hi everyone, it's Marissa from bumblebeeapothecary.com, and today I'm here to bring you along as we start introducing solids to our baby. We're going to be using the Baby GAPS diet introduction steps, and this video is going to cover the first week. So I'm really excited to do this video for you guys. I've had lots of you asking about it, and yes, our baby is 6 months today. Time has really flown by, and towards the end of this video I'm going to do a little 6-month update for him, so for those of you who are interested and want to stick around to watch that, you can watch that at the end of this video. For now, let's first jump into week 1 of introducing solids to a baby, GAPS style. So when I was thinking about how to put this together, I was thinking it would be nice to have the entire process in one video, but in order for me to do that, I would have to film each week at a time, and it would be months before I would get this video out to you guys, and I know that you guys want to see it a lot sooner than that. So I am going to be breaking it up into one video per step that Dr. Natasha has in her book, and then once I have all those videos done, I'm going to have them all in their own playlist so that anybody coming along this whole entire series later after it's already up will be able to easily watch the whole group of videos that way. For now, you guys are going to see it in real time, pretty close to real time as we're doing this, as the videos come out. I'm also going to have a blog post over on my website, and I'll have a link down below as soon as I have that up that has all of these steps in one blog post so that you'll be able to easily go through the steps in one place rather than having to go back to each video to find out what to do next. Of course, you can also look in this book too, but I will have a blog post linked below. So first, let's jump in to what we start with. So Dr. Natasha says that if you have a baby on formula, she recommends starting solids around 4 months. And she says if you're nursing, you can wait till 6 months unless the baby is really hungry and there's a need to introduce solids earlier. With all of my kids, I have waited until 6 months and it's worked great. And obviously that's what we're doing this time too. So the very first thing that you do is to introduce meat stock, and she says chicken is a good one to start with. I'm using one of the chickens that we raise so we don't feed them corn or soy, and she says to make it with just water and nothing else. Now I do go ahead and add some of our high quality mineral salt when I make the meat stock for a baby. Some people have asked Dr. Natasha for clarification on this because it does seem a little bit confusing and a lot of people had questions about it in one of the live webinars that I was on with her, and she says yes, the mineral salt is fine. The reason why she says in her book no salt is because the regular table salt is not good, but the good quality mineral salt is good. So I'm going to be adding some of that, just lightly salted to a good light taste. Definitely making sure to not overdo that, and then nothing else. I'm not going to add pepper, peppercorns, onions, garlic, celery, carrots, and nothing else. I'm just going to do the chicken and water, and I'm going to put that together in a second and show you that. And so it's really important, she says, to do the sensitivity test before introducing anything, especially in the beginning. So she talks about this in her book. She says to either put a little bit of the liquid food on the inside of the wrist right before bedtime and let it dry, let the baby go to sleep, and in the morning check the area. If there's an angry red or itchy reaction, are her words, then don't introduce that food yet. Wait a while. So we're going to be doing that with each one of these steps. That's where we're at right now. I'm going to get that chicken on cooking to make the meat stock, and then tonight before he goes to bed we're going to test some of the meat stock on his wrist. He's not going to eat any today, and then depending on how that goes, the next day, tomorrow, he'll go ahead and have some. So let's go ahead and get that chicken cooking. And then, of course, as always, I'm being mindful of the ratio of water to chicken. So the ratio is always 1 pound of meaty bones to 1 quart of water. So I've done it enough to where I know what that ratio looks like. So I make sure to just barely cover the chicken with filtered water, and then I'm going to bring it to a boil. And once that has come to a boil, skim the scum, bring it down to a simmer, and then I'm going to simmer it for 2 to 3 hours. So once this is done cooking, then I'm going to, of course, strain out the meat stock, and that's what he's going to start with, and then The meat is something that we're gonna add a little bit later. So I'll be taking off all the meat, all the cartilage, skin, connective tissue, fat, all of that. And then I'll be saving that. I'll probably put it in something in the freezer until he's ready so that it stays good. And then we will start him with just the meat stock, and you'll see that whole process. And then there are a couple different ways that you can give the meat stock to the baby. You can either start with a little spoon or a bottle. I tried both, and I found that I liked a bottle the best. It was just a lot less messy. So that's what I'm gonna start with again this time. So she says to start with just 1 or 2 teaspoons. She says before each nursing. And I have always done this just a little bit differently. I didn't feel like I needed to whip out the bottle, warm it up before every single time that I wanted to nurse. So what I did is I just started like the first day, one time that day, I gave him a few little sips of the meat stock from the bottle that seemed like 1 to 2 teaspoon amount. And then the next day again, and kind of just keeping it once a day for quite a while, and then just slowly increasing the amount that he was getting about once a day, because she does say in the book, start off with just 1 meal a day, and then over time you're gonna of course increase that. So that's what I did. I didn't try to fit it with every single time I nursed. I just did the 1 time a day and then increased that amount very slowly based on how he was doing. And then of course, since this is his special meat stock without anything else added, he's not gonna need such a large amount very quickly, so I like to freeze it in pint jars in the freezer and then just take out what I need at a time. And I'll be doing that with a lot of the other foods and things that I make as well. The second thing that Dr. Natasha has you start in week 1 is introducing juicing, and she says to start with carrot juice. So she says to start with 1 or 2 teaspoons of fresh pressed carrot juice. It needs to be fresh that day because it will, oxidize very quickly. And she says to mix it with some water and give that in between meals on an empty stomach. So for us, I usually try to make this part of it just fit into our life the best that I can. The rest of us are not currently juicing every single day, but we did kind of bring it back a little bit and do some recently. What I'll do is just juice some carrots as often as I can, even if it isn't every single day, and then give him a little bit of that as I give the rest of the family some, because it's hard. You can't juice 1 or 2 teaspoons of carrot juice at a time. You might as well make some for yourself too and the rest of the family, and then give the baby a little bit, especially since they don't keep. So that's how I made that work. And if I skipped a day of the carrot juice, so be it, that's fine. The meat stock, I made the priority of doing that every single day. And then before you introduce carrot juice, Dr. Natasha says to do the skin sensitivity test with that first, just to make sure. And then she says once that's going well, you can try adding a little bit of cabbage or celery or lettuce to the juice as well. So that is the first week of introducing solids to a baby, GAP style. We'll just keep on with that meat stock, starting with 1 to 2 teaspoons at first, and then gradually increasing as he seems like he wants more and is doing well with it. And then we will pick right back up once we are ready to move into week 2. And here's the little bit where I'm gonna just give a little 6-month update for this guy. So he is doing great. He's doing so well. I'll try to pick up where I left off for his 3-month update and just kind of talk about how he's doing and what he's up to and all that kind of stuff. So for sleeping, he's been doing really well. He was consistently waking up once a night or sometimes not at all, and then just lately he's been waking up twice a night, which I'm pretty sure is just him needing more food, more to eat. So perfect timing for starting him on solid food, obviously. And then for naps during the day, he pretty soon after he turned 4 months, he settled into 2 naps a day, and he's pretty much stayed there. Lately, he's kind of worked into his first nap starts around 11 a.m. and he'll take 1 really good 2 to 3 hour nap, usually more like 3 hours, and then he'll have a shorter one around like when I need to make dinner or something, and then, or during dinner kind of around that time, and then he's ready for bed usually around 8 p.m. So that's where he's at with kind of his little routines. And then he's big. He started off big, he's still big, and I remember that with my 3rd child too, when he was a baby, same kind of thing, because he was the same size when he was born. They take longer to be able to sit up on their own and roll over a lot and stuff. when they're bigger, just more to move around. So he really enjoys trying to sit up, but he's so long and big that it's gonna be a little bit more time before he can sit up well on his own without support. But he likes trying, and so he likes to sit with pillows around him and things like that. And then he's rolled from his tummy to his back a few times, and that's about it. He's just not somebody who wants to move around a ton. He's just kind of happy to just be, but he does spend a lot of time playing on his tummy, and he's nice and strong with his neck and everything, and holds toys and looks at him. Everything goes in the mouth. So reaching all of those type of milestones just fine. And just, I know, just like with my third child, the rolling over and sitting up and crawling will come when he's ready. Just takes a little bit longer when they're bigger because it's a lot to move around. You have to build up a little bit more strength. So that's where he's at with all of those things. And for our hand-me-down clothes, he's pretty much in 12-month clothes and 9-month if they're new and haven't been shrunk. So nice and big. And so happy, so smiley, and he's got 2 teeth. So his first little tooth on the bottom popped through the day that he turned 5 months, and then a week and a half, I think about after that, then the second one popped through. So he's got 2 little teeth there, and yeah, that's pretty much what there is to share about him. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you follow along with the rest of his journey as we're introducing solids, and I'll do more updates for him just to kind of save those different milestones and kind of let you know how he's doing. So if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with anybody else who you think would like it, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.